All right, guys, so finally a new shop truck update. All right, Bojack, fire it up. That's nasty. Shop truck's ready.
Shop truck. Daryl the Hellcat.
We're gonna have to smoke that Hellcat with this truck.
Daryl the Hellcat.
So we haven't had a lot of time to work on it. We've been back on it for about a week and a half now, or I should say Potak has, getting all this wiring taken care of. It has been quite a pain. So he's basically rebuilt this entire wiring harness from scratch. So the factory gauges are gonna work, the ABS is gonna work, the check engine light, I mean literally everything's gonna work as if this 2018 engine came in this truck new. So it's been a heck of a lot of work. You guys can see we still got some work to do, a lot of exposed wiring and stuff. But he's done one heck of a job, and we think it's about ready to try and fire it up. So let's finish up a couple things and see if we can get it started. So what's been going on over here, Potak?
So I did the radiator swap already. I had to modify the tabs. I think we have it in one of the videos what we had to modify, just cutting off the condenser tabs off the front of the radiator. Put the radiator in. Pretty painless, easy swap to do the radiator. Put the fans back on, and I started wiring the fan wiring. So basically it goes directly to 12 volts, and then these are the ground wires. And then the ECM controls it, pulse width modulation on the extra wire. So there's 3 wires on each fan, power, ground, and ECM control. So that's already wired. I just have to run the eyelets on the fans. I don't know where I'm gonna ground it yet. I believe most of them are grounded on the frame or the core support. I'll probably go directly to the engine on that just to make a good clean ground. Then the next thing I'm working on is a sway bar. So this is just the stock sway bar for now. I think eventually we'll probably put a real sway bar on it, but this one's, it'll fine, get us driving and all. So we're gonna adapt the stock sway bar, which uses the bushings on the end, to the new A-arms, which uses a Heim joint on the control arm. And the easiest way to do that I thought of was to buy a piece of all thread, which is not really all thread you get at like Home Depot. This is a little bit probably like a grade 5-ish type bolt. It's stainless steel. I can't find the grade, but the tensile strength was like 120,000 psi, and I think all thread is like 20,000 or something. So I wanted to make sure something that was strong enough to not to pull apart. And basically, thread the Heim joint in on one side, then use the factory spacer and hardware. I'll have to put the washers on, and then I'm putting poly bushings on it too. Not that they're really going to matter a whole lot compared to the stock rubber ones, but it's a cheap little upgrade, so why not do it while we're here? Yeah, and then basically this will be cut to length. The marks, I measured it with the stock bolt and marks right there. So I may have to shorten this, and we may not even use this spacer here, but I'm just kind of, my only point of reference is a stock arm, so that's what I'm going on with for now.
And you're gonna have to trim this up here. It's looking like it's pretty close.
The drop spindle, because this is like a 2-inch drop, I believe, because the center line's up higher. This is aftermarket, but we'll have to, I marked it where we'll have to put a bolt in here and measure it, but we might just take it to the belt sander and just put like a flat spot in it for now. And if that works good, we'll maybe put it on one of the lathes and cut a little bit extra off of it. Basically right now I just need it for bolt clearance, and then we'll kind of smooth it out and make it look a lot more professional instead of grinding on it.
We noticed back here that the frame is just crazy flexible, so when it's on the lift it bends just way too much. So we're going to take it back to Omar. He's going to box that in now that we have some more time over at RST Motors. He's going to fix that up, and he's as well as build us an exhaust. So he does really good exhaust work. He's going to go ahead and build an exhaust for the connection pipes for the stock manifolds, because we want to dyno it as stock as possible at first, and then after that we're going to get long tubes on it. So he's going to do all that work at the same time, stiffen up the chassis, get the exhaust done. The drive shaft here, you can see the factory one is just too short, so we're going to have a longer one made while it's over at Omar's. He'll get all the exhaust and chassis work finished up. We'll get the drive shaft made, and then this thing should be ready for that first bedless burnout. So we have the bed here. Haven't wanted to put it on because we want to do a fat burnout first.
So he's going to plate it basically up to this cross member here, and from here back will basically be almost, you know, basically boxed in and shouldn't flex around as much as it does now. Right now we could sit on the back bumper and you could see the chassis flex just on the bumper, sitting on the bumper rather.
And he said he wasn't really worried about this area because of this cross piece here.
Yeah, the crossbar is gonna, this strengthens it up quite a bit.
So just from here back is where we're worried about. So we'll get all that strengthened up.
Yeah, and you could even tell that the metal looks rather thin on this. So we'll strengthen it up a little bit while we're here and while the bed's off. I mean, it's a perfect time to do it. So kind of why not? Basically, it just has to be done to the C-notch, because anything after the C-notch really doesn't matter. It's like, oh, and we're gonna strengthen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The control arm mounts too. He's just gonna put a gusset here, and we may box in the top of it. But basically, just to kind of get some of the side-to-side flex out of it. When it's on the ground, you can kind of see what it does, but up in the air, you don't see any problems. But on the ground, you can kind of, it just needs a little bit extra from where it's at. For what we're doing with it, if you're just building a street truck just to cruise around and look cool, you know, it's perfect as is, but it just needs a little bit extra for the type of racing and shenanigans we're going to be doing. I did put the Dakota Digital Park neutral switch in. Kind of forgot about even doing this. So basically it just ties off of the factory shift lever, and it has an arm that basically as you turn it, it goes, you know, park, reverse, neutral, drive. So this was a simple thing. I think this is like $100 for this little guy versus alternative, which I think the price when I looked up the decoder was like $300. So this is just a mechanical or analog way of making all that stuff work with the truck. It's pretty similar to what the factory truck would have had inside or on the side of the transmission. It's just the aftermarket version of that.
So as you guys can see, this thing is getting close, and it's not going to be too long now before we got this thing on a autocross circuit ripping it up, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. All right, Bojack, fire it up! That's nasty! Okay, all right, Potak. Now let's try the real truck here. See if she starts. Shop truck lives. Yeah, Potak. Everything looking good? Looks great. Nice. So finally, after all this time and all Potak's hard work, she's pretty much ready to go. So we got some things to button up here. Obviously, it doesn't have O2 sensors in it. It doesn't have a mass airflow sensor on it. Still sounds pretty good though, but we'll wrap a few things up, and we actually have to change the radiator too. It actually has a small leak right here. So the one the guy sent us must have had some sort of pinhole leak in it, but he did send us another one, so we'll get that swapped out right over here actually.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. Looks the same.
Yep.
It's a radiator.
All looks good. It should just be a quick swap, and yeah, then we got a bit more work to do, but it's closer than ever, and we're ready to get that bedless burnout going. The moment of truth is here. So perhaps the maiden voyage of a special vehicle here.
Oh shit!
Oh, no, that's for y'all! I'll be able to change it.
Got a check engine light.
Hey, no big deal.
But the tach's working. Think I'll be able to get out?
I don't know, we're about to find out. got no bed, extra room.
The other thing I don't know about is if the temperature gauge works yet, because I haven't even warmed it up yet.
She's loving life. Shop truck.
Shop truck life. I mean, so far so good.
That's not some water there, is it, on the ground?
It's a little bit of water.
I mean, I don't know if burnout's the best idea for her very first drive, but
I didn't hook this up yet. So
it's running like a champ.
yeah,
Shop truck LT swap.
Man, this is pretty nice. You want to go to Sonic?
Yes, I do.
I kind of want to go to Sonic if we had an exhaust on it.
Who needs an exhaust? We don't need an
It's not
exhaust.
even that loud. It's charging, oil pressure.
This thing is awesome. Finally, shop truck is on the streets. This man right here, the wiring meat master.
This was a lot of work, man.
Dude, I love the ride. It's like raked forward. It looks mean just being in here.
Feels like it's just in second gear.
Oh, she sounds vicious.
Yeah. Manifolds.
That Dirty Max doesn't want any of this.
What do you think? One more pass?
Yeah, give her another pass.
I don't even know what gears there are in the 6. That's neutral. That's drive. But it feels like it's starting in second gear, so we might have to tune it.
Man, that suspension working like a dream back there, dude. This thing feels great. Man,
It hasn't shifted yet.
I love shop truck. It wants to rip it, man. It's like, why do I need to shift when I'm not at 6,000?
I should probably check the transmission fluid too. Oh yeah. Yeah.
She definitely needs some fine tuning. I don't think it's quite ready for the drag strip yet, but
Virgin little test drive.
But she is driving, and that's a huge plus.
Let's just pull it right up in front.
Yes, it's right up there. Back her in, looking like a dream. Let's see if reverse even works. Oh, I guess we backed out, so she's good.
We're taking this to Omar tomorrow.
Yep, take it to RST Motors tomorrow to finish up the chassis work and put an exhaust on it. But man, it feels good. I like the ride. It's nice and firm, ready for some autocross. Shop trucks, Maiden Voyage. Look at her, sitting pretty. Dang, it is low in the front. I think we may have to crank her up a notch or two in the front.
They have to. They got some brake fluid I spilled over here when I was bleeding the brakes. Seems like everything works. We need to look at the transmission and make sure everything's working good. It might have set a code since it doesn't know. Well, I guess it would know if it was in park or reverse.
This intake
We'll
looks
see. It has a
factory.
check engine light. Yeah, it's the cowl induction ram.
Yeah, so you can turn it where you need, wherever you need to get that cold air.
It barely clears. I turned it just enough to where it cleared the AC. Maybe we'll have him build us, when he relocates the battery, maybe we could have him build us a little air intake for it.
That would be sweet. It's nice to see her back on the road. I can already tell shop truck's happy. That is low though. Yeah. I like that. I like it. If it doesn't scrape or anything, it
is pretty. Look how low the front is.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We should just throw the bed on it and see what it looks like.
It would be cool.
It's cold out here.
Yeah. I remember how heavy that bed is though. I'm not really wanting to mess around with that.
You got all the comforts. Electric windows. Locks.
It's pretty much a Rolls Royce in luxury. I would put it in the same class, luxury-wise.
I guess I'll have to put it back in the shop tonight.
There it is, the Maiden Voyage of shop truck and the LT swap. So we still got some work. It doesn't seem to want to shift, but like I told Potak, maybe it's just it wants to see that 6,000 RPMs.
It would take a while to get up to 6,000 RPM. I think it's in third gear. So it felt like, because it never felt like it was in first gear at all. Might have to just kind of look that over. I don't think it's like in between gears on the shifter. Like everything's set up really good, but it might be like something in tuning, or it pissed off about something.
First drive out in the rain.
First drive, got it wet.
That ride height is perfect. Looking good. Get the bait on it. After we do
the bed after we'll get it back maybe.
And do a fat burnout.
Yeah, need to worry about see what's up with the transmission too. I'll bring my HP tuners tomorrow so we can scan it, see if there's any weird codes.
Jason, you happy to have it out of the shop?
I love what you've done with their intake.
Yeah, it looked real good.
It's ram air.
That's custom.
It is. Custom with a K.
Time to take shop truck over to RST. It's a nice feeling. 100 miles an hour right off the bat, but she's fast.
Yeah, you gotta calibrate that. I think it's off a bit.
Well, let's get her in the trailer.
Daryl the Hellcat.
We're gonna have to smoke that Hellcat with this truck.
Daryl the Hellcat.
Daryl the Hellcat.
We were ripping him on new one.
Wide body. Loaded up and ready to head RST. While we're at it, check out the tow truck here. Brand new AT4 HD. Alright, so we just got over here to RST Motors. We're gonna unload the truck and get it over to Omar. Alright, so she'll be here for probably 2 weeks. We told him no rush on it. Last time we put him in a little bit of a rush, and you know, it was he had a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. So this time we're giving him a little more time, that we don't have to try and hurry it somewhere. It's looking good though. As the suspension settles, it's looking level like it is. Hard to tell without the bed on it, but man, I love that ride height in the front. That is right on the money. So thanks again to Omar here at RST. He always takes care of us and does good work. So we'll see it here in a couple weeks.